Right? I just kind of went through, I shaded up in the top right close to my light source, and I threw in some of these pixels up in the top right corner to make it look like they were standing out, coming out from the shell. And then on these edge pieces, these were a little less detailed because they're basically flat. All I did was I had just these two colors. I shaded one side of it really light color, and then I did some dithering right in here to make a smooth transition. And if you're not aware of what dithering is, it's basically using two colors to create a third medium shade. Like, see, right here you have really light, right here you have really dark, and when you do these pixels kind of mixed in together, it's sort of like they transition and make a third color. That kind of thing. So I went through and did all that. Okay, do it to the back as well. Next thing we're going to work on is the fur. Alright, when you're drawing fur, the goal is not to make each individual hair, because a pixel is bigger than a hair follicle. So here's what we're going to do. Our goal is going to be to draw this kind of like locks of this hair, chunks of the hair put together. But something important to note is we want to know what direction the hair is flowing, okay? So on most four-legged animals, what you'll notice, his shell is covering it, but the back, the hair will be mostly flowing in like this direction. It'll be horizontal, and then it kind of angles and starts turning down about the middle, and then down here at the bottom, it's either pointing down or pointing, back and down, or something sort of diagonal. That's what it does here. You can see that part here. See, all of these are like diagonal lines, diagonal clumps of hair. And then right here, they're more horizontal along his face, but then they kind of curve and come down. So let's do that in this real quick. We're going to take a lighter shade, and we're going to just kind of draw sort of horizontal shapes here, but they start turning down, okay? They start becoming diagonal. We're just going to keep doing that. We're going to build up our pattern. And then right here, these are going to be more of a horizontal thing, and because I'm going so fast, it sucks. But you can see kind of how I achieve that effect, okay? I'm drawing the same direction the hair is, and I'm not drawing, see, there'd be like 10 times as many actual hairs in here. I'm just drawing the way a group of the hair would be facing. And then I would take and do the same thing right in here, just draw sort of some diagonal hairs, make a bunch of them just right there. Go along and work on it, okay? Don't look at it and go, oh my god, I made it all clumpy and nasty. Well, just keep building the pattern, okay? Pixel art is hard to do. You gotta be patient. Okay, keep working on it. And so that's what I've done here. See, I went through, I actually took some time on this pattern, and I even threw in a third darker shade up towards the top of the shell, just to add some extra depth to it, okay? And then right here at the mouth, see, I added a darker, sort of a solid piece of fur, and then I shaded his, put the color in his nose and stuff like that, and I just sort of made an eye-like shape here as well. So here's all the detail to the fur. Did it on the back too. And now it's time to make an important distinction between long hair and fur and short hair and fur. Alright? Take a look at this. You'll notice that all this part right here is all long hairs. This part is really short hairs. And in pixel art, one of the better ways to generally treat that is almost as if it's kind of like just shading on skin. So I just went through, and instead of trying to draw hairs, I just did the values of what this foot actually is. It's light through here, so I added light shades to make it look like that's where the toes are coming to. And then it's dark at the back, so I added some darks. And if you look real close, there's like some reflective light coming off. So there's a little bit of light shades back at the back. I threw those on there too. And that's pretty much all I did for the legs. Alright? Long hair, you actually make the texture out. Short hair, you kind of make a really less detailed, really just doing a value study on these. At any rate, that sort of completes the texture of it. So let's go back into the battle editor and take a look at what he's showing us now. Oh, me and my mess ups. Hey guy. Ain't your guy, friend. 28. 29. 29. 29. Alright, so let's look at this guy now. He's looking a lot better. Okay, we just started out with general shapes, filled in some colors, made sure everything was in proportion and in the right spots, and then we just built up our textures, alright, using different techniques. So now what we got to do is let's clear out some of these black lines, because as I said before, the black makes it look flat and we want it to pop. So let's eliminate some of these black lines all through here and give it a more unified feel, and less of like a cartoony thing. And then we need to add some details like eyes and stuff like that. Now, how you get rid of the black lines, generally what you do, what I've learned recently, I've been bad at it, is do this. Okay, this was all just one big black line along the edge. What I did is I took these lighter colors, and I filled in the black line basically, because if you look at the edge of this, there's not a black line there. It's not black. It's light. That's where the light hits it. So these brighter colors, I'm just going to just let it end right there. And I'll let the contrast of the environment let you know where the end of the animal begins and ends. And then right in here at the bottom, I did sort of the same thing. If you'll notice before, you could really easily tell around where I got rid of all the outline around here except for what's in the darkest parts. Right back here underneath the animal, behind his legs. And then for the eye, what I did is I added this creepier yellow color for the sclera. This is something Pepsi Ranger mentioned to me on the forums, and it was a really good idea. It gives it kind of a creepy, more sadistic effect. And then I just used the same dark outline color for the eye. And then back here at the back, see the tail, see how the light hits the tail this way, whereas on the body it's hitting it this way? Well, that's because it's coming from the sun, so the light's going to reflect over here. And there's not going to be any light here because that's where the body is. So just pay attention to where the light's hitting your surface and adjust your pixel shades accordingly. Alright, now let's take this guy and let's look at him for real. Alright, this is on a white background. I'm pretty happy with him. This is one of the better things I've ever made. He's got good transitions now. There's some cool textures in there. He actually looks like something you'd want to fight rather than this thing that I drew a couple months ago. So again, just to follow up on our process, we drew big shapes, made the outlines and stuff, and filled them in color, made sure our proportions are correct, built up our detail. And another important part is where you're going to put your image. Alright, what kind of backdrop are you going to use, okay? So see, like, right here, I guess these colors actually fit. Let's try a better example. Alright, right here. You could put him in this environment, but the colors are so similar, there's not much contrast, and it's just kind of boring. Unless this was maybe some kind of rock beast, you could put him in caves, but I don't know. I guess the point I'm trying to make is be aware of what environment you're putting your sprite into. You want to make sure nothing really clashes, unless of course that's your goal. I would probably put him in this one, just because it's my favorite backdrop that I've done. Anyway, that concludes the tutorial. Hope I didn't bore you to death. I know I had fun though. If you want to offer any comments, maybe ask for help, or if you actually know what you're doing and you've noticed something that I'm doing incorrectly, you know, any kind of feedback at all, go to Slime Salad Forums or Super Walrus Land and leave it on the HamsterSpeak issue thread whenever this comes out. And that's all I have for now, so hopefully you enjoyed yourselves, and maybe this will turn into a running thing if, well, we'll see how this video pans out later. So, bye for now. Thank y'all.